Imagine you have a window open. How do you move it? You grab it by the title bar and drag it away, right? But what if you could drag the window from any part of it, not just by the title bar? That way you wouldn't have to rely on perfect hand-eye coordination all the time. What about resizing? If only there was another, much simpler way. Welcome to Nick's Tricks. I am Nick, and you are about to learn about one of the best window management features in Linux. This functionality has actually been around since the early 2000s, but only very few people seem to know about it or integrate it in their workflows. I caught myself using it more and more lately, and I think it's really useful and more relevant today than it was 20 years ago. So let me show you what I'm talking about. The way this works is you press a modifier key on your keyboard and hold it down as you click and drag with the mouse anywhere on top of the window to move it around. It's very likely that the feature is already enabled and configured to use the super key. That key between Control and Alt that no two people can agree what to call, also known as the Windows key, the meta key, even command like on Mac, and if I hear someone call it hyper. But anyway, this is how you move a window. A lot easier. Hold down your modifier with one hand and left drag, as in click and drag with the left mouse button. If you want to resize the window, it's the same thing, but with the right mouse button. The trick is to take the cursor somewhere off to the side or corner that you want to resize from. You want to go a bit away from the center of the window, which is like this dead zone, and right-click away to resize the window. It's really easy to get used to it, and that's why it's important to decide on a modifier key as soon as possible. I personally like to use the Alt key instead of Super. Not exactly sure when I might have gotten used to it that way, but let me show you how to get to that setting if you're running GNOME. I'm going to show you 3 ways to do this. First and easiest method, using GNOME Tweaks. You might already have it installed. If you don't, you can install GNOME-Tweaks using your package manager. Open it up and go to the bottom tab called Windows, and then somewhere in the middle, you have Window Action Key. This drop-down will have 3 options, Alt, Super, and Disabled. If you look right above this option, there should be another one that says Resize with Secondary Click. You can toggle this for the right drag functionality to resize windows. If you don't have GNOME Tweaks, don't want it installed, or just want to use another modifier key or a combination of keys, you can go crazy with the Dconf editor. This is a GUI front-end for Dconf. It's like the registry editor from Windows, but better. Again, it's sudo apt install dconf editor or an equivalent install command if you don't have it. Then once you open it, you can just Control F to search for a modifier, and the first result should look something like this. You can click it, and then if you want to use a custom value, uncheck the Use Default Value option and input your modifier like this. It can be any other modifier, or you can even combine them if you need to. Now, you can also use those breadcrumbs up there at the top to go up 1 level, and you'll notice the resize-with-right-button option a couple of rows lower. There are also tons of different other options here if you want to look around. Just know that this is a powerful tool, and it can break things. There's even a disclaimer pop-up saying just that the first time you open this. Of course, as another alternative, if you prefer a more scripty approach, you can use the gsettings command to set your modifier button and right-click resize option. The general syntax for setting an option is gsettings set, followed by the schema or path to your setting, then the name of your setting and the value you're setting it to. This is the recommended command line utility to change GNOME settings. I'll leave these 2 commands in the description for easy-peasy copy-paste purposes. You may be tempted to use Dconf directly, which is like the configuration storage backend, but generally speaking, gsettings is a better option, especially for end users. Your preferences will still end up in the Dconf store, but gsettings also performs type checks to prevent invalid data from corrupting the database. These are the equivalent Dconf commands for those 2 settings. A quick heads up, if you set your mouse button modifier setting to Alt, you have to be mindful of any potential conflicts with applications that may use the same shortcut. If that's something that you use, then your modifier key setting has to be something different. Using a modifier key along with a mouse allows you to basically perform the same motions for moving or resizing a window the traditional way, but requires way less precision. And you know what? This is great, now more than ever, because of one simple reason. We have much higher screen resolutions, both on desktop and laptops, which consequently makes UIs look smaller and allow for more content on the screen. So those title bars got thinner and thinner. We use more applications simultaneously. Many of those create little windows of their own, Your Retina display is not enough, so you plug in 5 extra supersized monitors, and one of them's a extra mega ultra widescreen, and you're supposed to be a good little aimbot and point and click on each and every one of those little title bars and corners just to move and resize. That is an accessibility bottleneck. This feature makes it go away. I'm grateful for it, and for you guys for watching this video and clicking all the nice buttons down there. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.